Hey folks, we're going to jump into what's looking like our 9.1 Mythic Plus build for Ret Pal. So Ret didn't see a lot of substantial changes going into 9.1. If your Night Fae, Blessing of Winter debuff can now be applied across multiple targets. That's kind of useful. Virtuous Command buff has been refreshed from additional Judgment cast. That's positive. Truce Wake now does the correct amount of damage. That's how it should always have been. So we're going to run through this. We'll absolutely touch on what the best talents are. If you're Kyrian, you want to continue to kind of keep your eyes open for a couple different builds. We'll touch on those specifically. But before we jump into that, let's start talking about our best legendaries. Each covenant has its own, hopefully interesting legendary option that we're going to talk through. So I turn that off. What we will see though in the next little bit is that Divine Resonance, it's probably the best legendary in most rating and Mythic Plus situations for Kyrian. It really looks like your best go-to. For Night Fae, Final Verdict is looking really favorable. Um, really, if you're sticking with single target, Night Fae, Necrolord, Venthyr, the Mad Paragon is probably your best. If you're looking at a bit of the mix, and for AOE, Tempest of the Lightbringer is the best legendary for all covenants. So keep that in mind. I'm excited. There's actually hasn't been a lot of classes that have put their new covenant legendary ability to work. So to see Kyrian paladins taking advantage of this, I'm actually a little intrigued about where we're gonna go here. Nice to see them get buffed up. Um, Specifically for Kyrian, you're gonna see strength building upon strength with the addition of this new legendary. It gained a real solid legendary option with this Divine Resonance. So after you cast Divine Toll, you instantly cast Judgment every 5 seconds. The effect lasts 30 seconds. So you're just launching hammers all afternoon. Um, but once you actually unlock the final Soulbind through Pelagos, you'll actually get new damage traits as well with Better Together and Newfound Resolve. So keep your eyes open for that because there's a ton of fun going down there. I am really leaning towards the build you're seeing on the screen from a Mythic Plus perspective. And the reasons behind that, pretty straightforward. Zeal is attractive, really kind of helps you get the most damage, even out of your auto attacks. Real easy way to go. Imperium Power is that I was really excited when we carried this talent over from BFA and took it from an Azerite trait to a solid talent ability. So load up on it from a Mythic Plus perspective. Tier 3, it really just comes down to what your priority is. I like Fist of Justice, although Blinding Light has always had a lot of utility if you're looking to stun a larger group. Tier 4, Unbreakable Spirit. It's actually just nice to have Divine Shield up more often. Lets you be a little bit more reckless. However, if you need more mobility, Cavalier's there, or alternatively, Eye for an Eye. Tier 5, you've got a couple options. Divine Purpose is okay. I'll call it steady. Just having the ability to get additional free casts off, as well as increasing your damage. Although I really prefer just the way Ret's set up right now, and it has been for a long time, but we're so burst heavy. Load up on Seraphim makes a huge difference. If you're going with Holy Avenger, you could have a little bit of fun with Venthyr, if that's your Covenant choice. But for me personally, Seraphim is going to be my recommendation. Tier 6, it's really just about sustaining, whether it's yourself or your group. But being able to load up on Selfless Healer allows you to top yourself up a little bit. Take advantage of that as much as possible. Then finally, Tier 7, Sanctified Wrath. It really just causes your Avenging Wrath to last 25% longer. So not only does that reduce the the periods in between when you're actually activating Avenging Wrath, but makes it really just feel like we are just hammering and bursting down our opponents a lot quicker. Um, Although a lot of these talents are focused towards AoE, you still need to do relatively solid single target damage throughout any kind of Mythic Plus dungeon, and this build does that quite well. Finally, if you go back to tier 7, Final Verdict, it can be viable if you want to go that way for a short cooldown if you're looking for additional burst. It really just kind of comes down to seeing how you're going to build or set up your talent. If you want to go with Execution Sentence and Final Reckoning, that is a pretty viable option as well. So jump back up to tier 1, go with Execution Sentence, go with Final Reckoning, and you can slowly just drop the hammer on whoever you see. Alright folks, that's kind of how it's looking right now. I'm really satisfied with where Ret is. Let me know in the comments. Do you agree? Do you like to go with a different build? Is there a talent here I totally missed on that I should be using? Let me know in the comments. Punch the subscribe button, give me a like, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.